Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome back to the recap and breakdown. Today we're taking a look at UFC Fight Night Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy, which just wrapped up yesterday, Saturday the 5th, 2025. We're going to be taking a look at the entire card, starting with the prelims, ending with the main event. It was a decent stream. Did have a lot of fun. If you guys want to, make sure next week to come check it out. Let's get right into it. First prelim opener of the evening. This one made me bash my head on the wall. Talita Alencar versus Vanessa Demopoulos. I had Vanessa Demopoulos. Watching Talita Alencar fight was like watching paint dry before. She fought Stephanie Luciano twice. In my opinion, lost twice. Fought Rayani Dos Santos. In my opinion, lost that fight. And she goes on 0-3 basically to fight Vanessa Demopoulos, who is actually a half-decent fighter. Majority of the time when she's labeled as a huge underdog, she wins. And in this fight, wasn't labeled as an underdog. Was labeled as, I believe, the favorite at close at -125. And ended up losing, looking terribly. She looked absolutely awful. Talita just got super easy takedowns. Looked like an absolute child on the feet. Her name's Problem Child. Yeah, half of that is because of the way she handles herself on the feet, and the problem is on the fucking ground. Because I don't know what's going on with Alencar, but she can't throw a 1-2. She can't even throw a hook. She can't throw anything. The only thing that she's looking for is a takedown, and apparently Vanessa Demopoulos can't see that. Apparently Vanessa thinks that she wants to stand and strike with her, and Vanessa in the third round was actually eating fucking bombs from Talita, and I don't even know how. Vanessa just looked terrible. She's definitely banned if we're ever betting her again. She is gone. No more. No more. My buddy said Greece is only good for their yogurt. Well, shit. Looky here. Yeah. Lost to Talita Alencar, who I don't think should even be inside of the UFC. And Vanessa Demopoulos goes down to 11-7. Wow. Whoop-de-doo. Anyway, I lost most of my parlays with that first bet, and this one didn't do me any favors either. Next on the prelims, we had Martin Buday versus Uran Satibaldiev. I had Satibaldiev. Satibaldiev was weighing in at 222. I thought he was weighing a little bit more. Nope, he weighed in at 222. He barely gained any weight. Martin Buday on fight day was 285, so there's a 63-pound difference on fight day. Uran literally just beat Leon Soros, 4 weeks ago, not even, and who's a really dangerous power puncher. I felt in this situation Uran was going to be able to overcome Martin Buday in his weight. I thought he was going to be able to, if he gets a trip or something, or Buday stumbles, or he lands a good strike and Buday falls, he's not getting up. Buday would not be able to get up, and we kind of know that. We're kind of aware that Martin Buday would be able to just get stuck on the ground, and Uran would win a round no matter what. In this situation, Martin Buday got cracked inside the third round. Uran may be up. It might be 1-1. It might be 2-0. We don't know. In my opinion, it was 2-0 Buday. But Uran cracks him. Literally, I've never seen Martin Buday like this. Stumbles. Literally stumbled. It's not even close to what happened with Shamil Gaziev. Stumbled, almost fell to the ground, and then proceeded to just grab onto Uran, who ran up close to him. Why he ran up close to him, I don't know. If he literally just stood back and watched Martin, he would have fell. He literally would have fell, and Uran would have been able to land some ground and pound and probably finish the fight. Instead, he follows up against Martin and tries to get close to him with a clinch and tries to drop him to the ground. I guess maybe because he's tired, and gets taken down, and then, or not taken down, but gets clinched up, and we're against the cage for the rest of the fight. And Martin Buday wins 30-27, 29-28 on unanimous scorecards. Uran loses his 0. I mean, arguably, I should have seen that coming. I should have saw that due to the fact that he fought 4 weeks ago, due to the fact that, he's fucking 60-pound difference in weight. Like, that's a lot of weight, dude. Even a jab, that's a lot of weight. That is a lot of weight for your opponent to be overwhelming you with and being on top of you with. Like, that's a problem. Especially in the clinch, Uran couldn't move. He would look like he was struggling the whole time. Unfortunate loss, but it leads into some actual decent fights and some decent wins for us last evening. Let's check it out. Victor Henry versus Pedro Falco. Now, Pedro Falco looked like ass. Looked terrible. Tried to take Victor Henry down. Any instance, Victor Henry scrambled. I believe only the successful takedown he got, maybe I think was the end of the first round, and Henry kind of just stood there and then got back up near the end of the round. But Victor Henry looked good, man. Looked sharp. Very good boxing defense. Not staying on the center line, not keeping his head still, moving not laterally, just moving well, moving out of the danger of Pedro. Every time Pedro was trying to set up a takedown, he dodged a strike and shucked the takedown. He looked really crisp, dude. It looked really good. Victor arguably could have got a knockout, I think, in the second or third round. Pedro was rocked pretty good. Victor was landing some really nice strikes. Problem is, Victor Henry's more of a volume striker. He doesn't really have the type of power punch that you're looking for when you're at 135. Because if he did have it, he'd be knocking dudes out. He has the volume for it. He has the precision for it. He has the movement for it. He moves really well, man. And against a guy like Pedro who can actually hit well and submit you really easy, he looked solid. Like, he looked like he's still at 37 years of age, man, almost 38. He's kind of coming into the point where you're going to start seeing a decline no matter what. He did look a little bit slower. That third round was a little iffy, but he looked good for a guy who's 37 and is a UFC vet. I like Victor Henry a lot. I say UFC vet. He's not a UFC vet. He's just been in the UFC since 2019. Huh? Or 2022? He's not even a vet? I thought this guy's been in the UFC a lot longer. Perhaps I am widely mistaken. Joe Murphy? You fought Joe Murphy? Interesting. Okay, well, that one I was a little lost on, but regardless. Pedro Falco loses. I mean, we knew he was going to lose after that Victor Hugo fight. Victor Hugo is just kind of the same type of fighter. Victor Henry is just a little bit faster. He can mix it up everywhere. Victor Henry got it done well. I did like the way he performed. And hopefully I get to see him again soon because I think he needs to fight a little bit more often in order to keep that, momentum alive and trying to stay in shape and in camp. Next on the prelims, we had Luma Lukbunmi against... I'm stuttering. Hold on. Let's just say that one more time. Next in the prelims, we have Luma Lukbunmi versus Estela Nunes. Now, Estela Nunes has lost her last 5 inside the UFC previous to this fight. She did fight Angela Lee inside one championship, lost to an Anaconda choke. That should tell you everything you need to know. Never mind, she only lost 4 in a row in the UFC. But again, she never won one inside the UFC. She shouldn't have been inside the UFC. Last time around, dislocated her elbow. That looked actually horrendous. I would have quit martial arts after that. I'm assuming she's still fighting because she needs the money. I'm assuming she's still fighting because, these fighters probably get paid 20 and 20, especially Estela Nunes, who hasn't really gone anywhere inside of her UFC career and only sitting at the bottom of the heat. She takes on Luma Lukbunmi, who we lost internet, so let's just take a second here. We lost Luma Lukbunmi, we had Luma Lukbunmi look half decent against Estela Nunes. There was a bit of a problem early in the fight. Honestly, it could have been 2-0 Nunes. We were watching the fight, and I was getting a little bit confused. I wasn't paying 100% attention because of the fact that this fight was a little bit of a sleeper. But they started landing some bombs. Like, these ladies were actually landing some heat. Estela Nunes was landing decent. Luma was looking nice with the Thai kicks. She looks really good with that Muay Thai. Trains in Thailand from Fuck It. Is it Fuck It? I'm pretty sure it's Fuck It Thailand, or Puck It, whatever you want to say. Luma looked solid, dude. Estela Nunes did look a lot better than she had looked in her previous fights. That's more or less probably because Luma is a decisioner. She doesn't really take girls out. And, at 115, how much power can a 5'1" girl have? Estela Nunes still loses. Is still going to get kicked out of the UFC at this point. She's 6-6 inside of her mixed martial arts career. I mean, just not UFC caliber, not even one championship caliber. She's not anything caliber. She probably should just go back to fighting regional for like 12K. It'd probably be better than being inside the UFC at this point, just getting your ass whooped. I understand the UFC PI is probably decent. You like sitting there. But they're not going to keep you after this. It's going to be a little bit rough. Luma Lukbunmi moves on. She said she wants to fight more often. Feels like she needs more fights every year. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think you need more fights every year. And that Ariane Carnelossi fight would have been awesome to watch. Carnelossi just beating Pierre Rodriguez due to intentional headbutts. Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been a better fight than what we just watched in this shithole, but it is what it is. At least we get Estela Nunes out of the UFC. We don't have to think about her anymore. Next in the prelims, Reese Skeletor McKee versus Daniel Frunza. Now, I said Daniel Frunza most likely gonna blitz Reese, and then I also said, I'm not sure if I said this in the video, perhaps I can take a look, but I did end up picking Reese McKee. It just had a little bit of an aura about him. He does have the range advantage at 5 inches, and Daniel is a guy who's going to come into the pocket with you. So in knowing that, I kind of had a feeling that if we got into some wild exchanges, Reese was going to be able to, take advantage and land the better strikes. It's almost exactly what happened. He looked really good while he did it. 2 seconds here. There it is.
Kind of gas inside the later.
Yeah, let's see what they say, guys.
Was shooting takedowns, just unable to get them. He was
Yep.
trying to just force something, just because
Yep.
Daniel was beating the shit out of him.
Yep.
He was hitting him with really good combos.
Yeah, he was.
Daniel was getting taken down, but getting back up.
Yep. That's against the Vadium Kutsi.
Exhausting,
Yep.
Vadium. And Daniel didn't really, like, he didn't stop. Like, he was tired.
Yep, he didn't stop.
Probably going out, unfortunately, but.
Oh, we had a little bit of neon.
Excuse me. There is
Yep,
a saving
excuse.
grace for him. Reese McKee does have 5 inches of reach over him.
Yep.
Daniel Frunza, you know, very exposed in the grappling. If he gets against a guy that's just going to be able to keep him there. Around Cage Warriors, 2 stints at the UFC. I do think he isn't UFC material, but I think against Daniel Frunza, he might be able to get it done if he utilizes the grappling.
I said utilize the grappling. I was wrong in that fucking aspect, at least. But on the best bets, if you went and watched that, we hit that shit. Anyway, you had to pick Reese McKee as an underdog here, specifically because he's lost 4 in a row inside the UFC at this point. He has 2 stints. He's making his way back. This is like kind of all or nothing. Like, he has to win this fight. He has to go out there and look good against Daniel Frunza. And honestly, when he walked into the octagon, dude, and he had that big smile on his face and he was excited to be there, I knew it was over. I knew Daniel wasn't going to do shit, because when you see a guy that's happy to be there, he has nothing to lose anymore. This is it. This is the 5th fight of his UFC career. He just went to a split decision with Chitty, and if he loses this fight, he's probably never touching UFC again. Bro, you got to go out there and make do with what you got, and Reese McKee was able to get a doctor stoppage after Daniel Frunza's right eye had a big cut and massive swelling. They didn't stop because of that. His lip was split completely open, exposing the blood vessel. It was absolutely nasty. I'm kind of cringing about it right now, thinking about it. I did see the picture. Not good. If you guys want to look it up, feel free. Can't show it on video, I'm pretty sure, because it's that bad. It was very intense. It was very intense. Very good win for Reese McKee. I'm very happy for him. Does finally get that win that he's been looking for. And proves me wrong in terms of the grappling. I thought he was going to have to grapple Daniel. I thought he was going to have to, mix it up. I thought he was going to have to, I thought he was going to have to utilize all aspects. Instead, Reese McKee proves me wrong. Chooses to stand and fight with Daniel and just wins every single combination. He did get clipped a couple times, but I don't think Reese literally left with any scratches. I think all the blood on him was from Daniel. And that was absolutely unreal. Very, very good win. Next on the prelims, we have the featured prelim of the evening. If you guys have not already, make sure to drop a like. Helps me out here. Puts me back in the algorithm. Let's see if we can get like 10 likes. Come on. At least 10. I just want 10. Let's do it. Deone Barboza versus Diana Belbita. I had the Deone Barboza in the first round by submission, and she gets it. It's kind of an instance of Diana just not being UFC caliber. In terms of the grappling situation, she's been exposed more than 3 times with the armbar, and it kind of seems like when she gets thrown to the ground, she doesn't really know what to do. She doesn't really post up on a hip. She doesn't really use her legs to leverage anything. She kind of just sits there and hopes that by some means of God, Deone's going to let her up. And it's just not going to happen. You have a girl who's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu player. She's going to go for that submission all day. Locks up the head and arm choke, and Diana's forced to tap. Listen, if Molly McCann is getting her in the first round, anyone's getting her in the first round, realistically. Carolina is not a submission grappler. Gloria is not a submission grappler. Liana, barely a submission grappler, and she fucking still submitted her with an armbar. Molly McCann twice beat her in the decision first and got her an armbar second. This is not a girl who can get armbars, dude. Literally, it's the only submission ever in her entire career is against Diana Belbita. If you guys did not see this coming, that is your own fault. Whoever bet on Diana this week, you have something wrong with you, dude, because Barboza's not that bad, and Diana clearly had so many flaws in her game that you can't pick her. And in the stand-up, Deone clearly improved. Very clearly was trying to show off some of that striking. Chose to stand and strike with her for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and when she felt like she wanted to take it to the ground, she just did. She literally just moved it to the ground. That was it. We're going to go on to start the main card. Torres Finney versus Robert Valentin. In my opinion, Torres Finney won clear, 29-28. Regardless or not, listen, I am one of the guys that agrees with the damage aspect. I get it. I totally get it. And I understand people saying this might be a robbery and Robert won 29-28 or even 30-27 with damage. No, he didn't. Whoever is closer to ending, listen, we can look it up here. Unified Rules of MMA 2025, okay? Here, scoring. Here we go. 10-point must system. Scoring criteria. Impact, the impact of strikes and grappling techniques. Dominance, the degree to which one fighter controls the fight and dictates the action. And duration, the length of time a fighter maintains dominance or control. He is dominating the fight. It does not matter if he lands 5 strikes, 6 strikes, 1 strike. If he grapples you and you can't get up, and you sit there and you can't get up, if you guys sat there for eternity, forever, he would kill you. That's just how it is. He would sit there until you get exhausted from trying to get up, and then with whatever he wants to use, even if he doesn't know how to kill you, he can just push his elbow in your face till you just pass out. It doesn't matter. He can gouge your eyes out with his hands. It doesn't matter. Torres Finney dominated the fight. Realistically, Torres Finney had Torres Finney versus Robert Valentin. Okay. I'm giving 30-27 as a protest. Yeah, that's just because you're a fucking baby, okay? That's just because you're a fucking toddler. Here. Stats. Now I get it. I get you. The striking numbers piss you guys off. Yes, I get it. That's why Robert won the 3rd round. He did not win the 1st round. He did not win the 2nd round. Dude, he did not. And Robert landed 93 strikes. I don't know where any of those came from. Probably all the clinch. Probably all in the clinch. But I don't know where 93 came from, but sure. Torres Finney controlled 13 minutes and 16 seconds of the fight. 13 minutes. Do you guys hear that? Does that process? 13 minutes and 16 seconds. It's a 15-minute fight. If I don't care if he didn't throw a strike. It doesn't matter. He won the fight. He did. I had Torres Finney by KO. I lost this bet. I did not win anything. If anything, we all lost with this fight. It was a pitiful fight. I'm not saying it's a good fight. I'm saying Torres Finney won. You can't say Robert Valentin won just because he landed fucking 4 strikes in the 1st round and 6 strikes in the 2nd round. He got controlled for the full 2 rounds. And Torres Finney fucking mollywopped him in that 1st round with the absolute grappling. Just pure grappling technique. It's just, it is what it is, guys. I know it sucks. I know no one wants to see Torres Finney win like that. I get it. And Robert, as a plus 250, everyone's fucking betting him, so you want him to win. Dog, you're not getting Finney. It's just not happening. Like, Finney's going to get out of the UFC probably after his next fight if he loses. But, like, this is just how you have to beat Robert. It's just how he's a submission guy. What are you going to do? You're going to stand with him until he rocks you and submits you? No. This is how you win the fight. Torres Finney won the fight split decision, 30-27 Valentin, 29-28 the other 2. That judge needs to be fired. First of all, Tony Weeks, boxing judge, barely knows MMA. He's absolutely shit. Get rid of him. But Torres Finney does end up winning. I understand you guys are upset about it. I understand some guys agree with me. You guys should not be upset about that. You should be upset at the fact that Robert Valentin can't get up. That's what you should be upset at. The fact that he can't get up from a shitter grappler. Because Torres Finney's not that good on grappling. He's not. He's just not. He barely collecting legs. Wasn't taking any more advantageous positions. Was just sitting there and holding him. If you can't get up from that, sucks to fucking suck. Next in the main card, not starting off the main card. Next in the main card, Ode Osborne, the Jamaican sensation, versus Luis Gurul. I had Ode by KO. I just did. I thought in this situation, Ode is just longer. He's a more experienced guy. This is a situation where UFC vet status comes in. You've been fighting inside the UFC for 5 years. You know, this is a time to make a statement. This is a time to show that why you belong inside the UFC. It's time to show the mix of capabilities that you have. It's time to show everyone who the fuck you are. And Jamaican Sensation did it. He did. As a plus 205 underdog, he shoves Luis Gurul into the ground. The kicks were beautiful from Ode all night. He was throwing very fast, and Ode just clips him with a really, really, really nice left hook and puts him down. Ode tried to get a walk-off, but did not want to have the same situation that happened last time against Ronaldo Rodriguez. He forced the issue and got Luis out of there. They had to stop the fight. Fantastic win for Ode, man. Seriously. I don't think Ode's looked any better inside the last 3 years of competition. Maybe against Charles Johnson. But dude, he looked awesome. He seriously did. Luis Gurul, again, he doesn't have the grappling that would be able to take Ode Osborne's fast twitch away. Ode wasn't getting tired. You could see it. He was having fun in there. He was landing really good. The boxing was coming and flowing really well. He's just longer. Luis was going to have to get in there and make it a dogfight. He just couldn't. He really couldn't. Ode was doing really nice push kicks, leg kicks, the high kicks, the 1-2s, the left hooks. Beautiful. beautiful work from O'Day Osborne. Luis is going to need to go back to that drawing board, bro, because oh, we got to call. 2 seconds, guys. All right, that was my grandparents. I got to go for dinner, or for lunch, but we're going to finish this up real quick. Anyway, O'Day Osborne looked really good, man. I thought Luis, man, I thought he could have maybe included a little bit of grappling. I understand he's a Muay Thai fighter. I understand he trains him for Factory X. I thought he could have maybe done a couple grappling exchanges with O'Day and maybe just forced the issue, maybe just forced him to think a little bit more. It just wasn't happening, and there wasn't much else for Luis to do, and he gets tagged up and dropped, and that's the end of the fight. Good win for O'Day Osborne, wins performance of the night. Fantastic. And that leads us into the next on the main card, Brad Tavares versus Gerald GM3 Mearshart. Mearshart looked terrible. Won the third round with striking, which is appalling to me. I didn't even think he could win a round with striking. But Brad Tavares just whops him. Just whops him. The first 2 rounds, Gerald can't get anything. He's 0 for 10 on takedowns or 0 for 11 on takedowns throughout the entire fight. Brad Tavares just forcing Gerald away from him and just boxing him up, looking really good, landing really strong strikes on Gerald. Gerald was down 2 rounds to start the third. And yeah, he's not winning by decision. We know he's not winning by decision. Gerald's not that type of guy. He did try to force a takedown inside the third. He had a good body lock, could not get Brad down. Brad's just too defensively aware. The UFC vet was able to make it through the whole time and get to a unanimous decision on his part. A very good win for Brad Tavares. Very boring fight to watch. But again, that's what you get when you get GM3. You either get a crazy submission after he gets rocked, or you get a boring decision that he loses. Yeah, and we got the latter. Next on the main card, Chang Ho Lee versus Cortavius Romius. I had Chang Ho Lee by knockout. I thought Cortavius Romius was a little bit dusty. He feels like a bit of a can. Ramon Tavares was able to knock him out inside the first round because Cortavius was just a little bit too amped up. And in grappling situations, Romius looks kind of bad. He looks like he gasses out quick. He looks like he can't control guys all that well. He looks like when he gets taken down himself, if guys have decent control on the top, he just kind of gasses himself out, forcing an out that he can't get. He doesn't try to use technique. He doesn't try to use a sweep. He just tries to post on a hip and force himself up. It wasn't working. It wasn't like putting a shin across the hip or anything. Chang was just kind of beating the shit out of him. Did end up getting a really advantageous position on the ground. Almost choked him out. Instead chose to lay him out flat and just beat the shit out of him because Romius wouldn't tap. And then ended up getting the ref to step in for Cortavius, and that was it. A very good win for Chang Ho Lee. Cortavius still sits unproven. I don't know how many fights you get with a UFC contract out of the Contender Series, maybe 3. But after 2 in a row, they're probably going to feed him to someone that he's not going to win against. He's 5'4" at 135. He couldn't even make 135. He missed weight by 5 pounds. Chang Ho Lee beats the shit out of him. Yeah, as he should. Good win for Chang Ho Lee. Looked solid with the grappling. Looked solid in the stand-up. And was able to just own Romius everywhere. Next on the main card, we had the co-main event of the evening. If you guys enjoyed this so far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. Of course, Pat Sabatini versus Jordan Brito. Brito got fraud checked. Completely fraud checked. No grappling whatsoever. If he fights any grappler, always bet against him. Pat Sabatini is a guy who gets clipped by everyone. Jamal Emmers, Damon Jackson, Diego Lopez gets clipped by these guys with big power. Jordan Brito has big power. Couldn't clip him. Couldn't get him. Pat Sabatini literally in the first 30 seconds of each round took him down. 13 minutes and a half of control time for Pat Sabatini throughout the whole fight. Jordan Brito couldn't even post on a hip. Couldn't even get his back to the cage. Couldn't do anything. Sat on the ground. Let Pat Sabatini literally walk all over him. And that's all he could do. Sorry, guys. I'm going to grab my socks real quick since I literally have to run out of here as soon as this video is done. But, you know, it's a bad loss on Brito's record. It just proves that he's not really high level caliber. He's just mid-level caliber. He's gonna be fighting guys like fucking Jack Shore and, you know, like what's that other kid's name from Australia? Oh, that's not even who he fought. I was thinking Kulabau, Josh Kulabau. He didn't even fight him. Jack Shore, Jonathan Pierce, Weston Wilson, all these trash grapplers. Jordan Brito's able to beat up, and then you have a decent guy that can control you in Pat Sabatini, and it's over. Apparently, you don't know how to fight anymore. You can't throw hands anymore. You can't even get up. You just sit there. That's all you do. Every single fight, you just sit there. You sit on the ground, and you hope that the ref stands you up. No? Okay, well, we're just going to hope the next round goes. No, you're on the ground. Okay, maybe the third round. Maybe you can. No, right to the ground. I literally got mad at this fight. I couldn't watch it. It was actually bad. Pat Sabatini barely threw strikes. Just sat there. Terrible loss for Brito. I lost my parlay off that after winning a shitload in a row. Whatever. You know, one off. It always is what it is. Next on the main card, we had the main event of the evening. Again, if you guys have not subscribed already, smack it. Smack it right in the face. Why not? It's free. It's free and you get free content. And I post at least 3 times a week. Let's go. Let's do it. Lerone Murphy versus Josh Emmett. I had Josh Emmett by KO. I felt like Lerone Murphy had been tagged too many times before. It felt like he kind of leaves himself open. It seems like he kind of moves left and right into a point where he might just eat an overhand. And that's how I felt Josh Emmett was going to do. Now, first round, Lerone Murphy won. It was pretty clear Josh Emmett was going to need, or no, Josh Emmett won, excuse me, round 1. It was pretty clear Lerone Murphy was going to have to do a little bit more, land a little bit more, maybe include some grappling attempts. And then Josh Emmett loses probably round 2. Just too much from Lerone Murphy in terms of the quality of the strikes and the output. And then you have round 3 and 4 where it's really close, in my opinion. Honestly, 3 and 4 can go either way because you have Lerone Murphy landing the more strikes, but you have Josh Emmett landing the more powerful strikes. And if you want to take power into consideration, even though Josh Emmett's bleeding, which was caused by a headbutt inside the first round, remember that, so that's not scored. It did feel like Josh Emmett won those 2 rounds. I thought Josh Emmett won 48-47. I thought it could have gone to Lerone 48-47 or 49-46. Either way, realistically, because the rounds are too close. It just depends on what judges you get. Realistically, certain judges would give that to Emmett, certain judges would give that to Lerone, and that is kind of how it was. 49-46, 48-47, 48-47 was the final scorecards. I thought Emmett lost the 5th round. He did almost get dropped by a big shot by Lerone. It just felt like in this situation, Josh Emmett's not exactly done yet inside featherweight. It does feel like he has maybe a couple more fights left, but Lerone Murphy he was able to just run away basically the whole fight and get away from everything that Josh Emmett was offering. And when that happens, Josh Emmett tries to follow a little bit too much, and when he leads himself into bad situations, and that kind of is what happened with Lerone inside the 5th round where he got tagged. A very, very good win for Lerone Murphy, though. I'm very, very happy for him. At least he gets to keep that 16-0. The crowd was booing him. He was talking shit to the crowd, saying, "Oh, easy fight, 16-0. Shut the fuck." Listen, bro. If you're almost losing to Josh Emmett, good luck, because anyone else at featherweight's gonna fucking torch you in that top 5. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you have not already. This was the recap and breakdown. Again, I'll be posting tomorrow. I'm gonna try and do a UFC edit for tomorrow, less than 5 minutes. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully you guys enjoy. And if it doesn't get up tomorrow, hopefully it'll be up Tuesday. I'm gonna try my best though. I'm gonna try. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy. I'll talk to you later. Peace.